Hi Botanical Medicine Club, Ryan here. Welcome to Spring 2021. Now that spring is finally here, we highly encourage you to get out and explore either your backyard or explore out in nature to try to find some plants that you can harvest that are edible or medicinal. Along those lines, it's important if you're going to be harvesting anything for consumption to make sure you engage with proper plant ID, because it's better to be safe than sorry. And if you're looking for some tips for plant ID, I highly recommend you check out the HerbGurl YouTube page, that's spelled girl with a U, with our very own Ebony Caldwell. Ebony's made some wonderful plant ID videos that are focused here in San Diego for the students that are here. And I highly recommend you check that out. Also, when it comes to harvesting, make sure, again, proper plant ID, engage in the ethical harvest to make sure you're not taking all of a plant. And also, if you're unsure of a plant, it's better not to harvest it if you're going to be consuming it in any way. Also, along the lines of plant ID, the BotMed Club this quarter will be offering some herb walks for the students here in San Diego. These will be in small groups, masks required. So keep an eye out on your email for our weekly emails. We'll be sending out a sign-up list if you're interested in going for some walks with us and learning about our local plants here in San Diego. Okay, so why herbal vinegars and why are we talking about this in springtime? Herbal vinegars are an excellent way to extract minerals from plants. Unlike tinctures, which are alcohol-based, vinegars are water-based, and the water extracts the minerals really well. And now that it's spring, we have a lot of plants popping up that are going to be high in minerals, and so I really encourage you to get out and see what you can find. The herbal vinegars are also nice because you can take them daily as a mineral tonic, you can add them as the base of a salad dressing, or you can sprinkle it on some greens you're sauteing, depending on what herbs you have in your herbal vinegar. So some options for plants you might be able to find that are edible and high in minerals include Urtica, Taraxacum or dandelion, which should be popping up soon, Plantago, Medicago, Chenopodium, Portulaca, Stellaria, and Gallium. So what I'll be using in today's video is Portulaca. It's also known as common purslane, and this is popping up in my backyard right now in my flower beds and my vegetable gardens. And it's edible, it's super high in vitamins and minerals, specifically vitamin C. So I'm going to give you a close-up here. So this is Portulaca or common purslane. You might see this in your yard as well. So I was just weeding this morning, and so what better thing to do with weeds than turn them into medicine, if they happen to be edible or medicinal, of course. Make sure you know what you're using. All right, so how do we make the herbal vinegar? First of all, I've already gone ahead and chopped up my purslane. So this is everything that I harvested straight out of my garden beds today. And again, this is a common weed, so it is good if you have a garden. Pull this out and make a vinegar with it. So this is pretty simple. We're just gonna put the herb in a jar, and the jar size will depend on how much herb you have. So I'm using a smaller jar. And it's important to chop up your herbs to increase the surface area. This is gonna help with the extraction of the minerals to give you a stronger vinegar. So make sure to chop up whatever herbs you're using. Okay, and just this piece I didn't have chopped, so I'm just gonna kind of tear it up and add it in there. Also make sure that you wash your herbs, shake out the dirt, try to get off any bugs, and give them a good rinse. And another note just for harvesting, avoid harvesting plants for medicinal use or for consumption if they're near highways, because you're going to get the exhaust from the highway or the road getting onto the plants. So I do recommend avoiding harvesting from areas that are along the roadside or other areas where those plants might be prone to pollution exposure. Okay, so I have all my purslane here. And what we're gonna do is we're just gonna fill it up with vinegar enough so that the plant is closed, or the plant is fully submerged. And optional is to add a little bit of sweetener. I usually don't add sweetener, but today I wanted to. And I'm gonna try out blackstrap molasses in this one. This is high in iron. Again, we only wanna use a little bit. And I'm just gonna give it a try today and see how it turns out. I haven't tried blackstrap molasses in a vinegar yet. So I'm just gonna pour a little bit in there. We'll see how it tastes in a few weeks. And now I'm gonna take my vinegar. I personally like apple cider vinegar. Bragg's is my favorite. I also have vinegar from Costco. Although any vinegar will work. I do recommend apple cider though, it's just a nice base for things. And let's just cover up those herbs. We want to make sure they're nice and covered. So mine's about that full right now. And that's it. That's really all it takes to make a herbal vinegar. When it comes to putting a lid on your vinegar, I recommend either a plastic or silicone cap, which is what I have. If you don't have a plastic or silicone cap and you're using the typical metal lids that come with most mason jars, cut a piece of parchment paper, lay it over, and then put your lid on. The reason for this is the vinegar will start to corrode the metal, and this is going to contaminate your vinegar as well as destroy your lid. Also a note, if you're looking for plastic lids, I got these off Amazon. I do recommend looking for one that has a silicone ring on the inside. Mine do not have a silicone ring, so when I succuss, sometimes they can leak a little bit, so I have to make sure I tighten them well. So now that this is ready to go, we're just gonna give it a good succussion, just shaking it up. I'm also gonna label this. I'm just gonna tape some paper on the lid, label what's in it. So mine's purslane, vinegar, blackstrap molasses. I'm also gonna label the date. And so you're gonna set this aside in a cupboard or on your counter somewhere, and in 2 to 4 weeks, strain it out, reserve the vinegar, and that's your herbal vinegar. And it is important, remember, to try and succuss your herbal vinegar every day. So that's all it takes to make an herbal vinegar. It's super easy. It's a nice way to get out, explore herbs in the spring, practice your plant ID, and also make some medicine with what you find. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you enjoy the videos to come, and I hope to also see you all on our herb walks. See you next time.